There's lots of different ways you can decorate your wrist. You can do watches, bracelets, cufflinks, piercings. Now, the wrist piercing is not exactly a wrist piercing where it's through the little creases and in the bends. It's a little further down with the surface bar. So you're going to see two different beads on this one. Now with the placement, there's two real options here. You can do it with your arms hanging down or with your arms out. Both will have slightly different angles, so how do you want this to look the most straight? My personal choice is when your arms are down so it looks nice and level when you're walking in a normal position. Now with the placement here, you need to go further back away from the wrist, and when you mark the wrist and if you bend it back and forth and that piercing's in that little crease, it won't heal. And you also need to be able to twist your wrist back and forth and not have any movement in that area either. Now this piercing needs to be done with a surface bar. You're going to want that surface bar to be nice and flat on the bottom, and if the bar's a little bit further, I've been known to put a little tiny bit of a curve to follow the curvature of the wrist so you can keep that disc nice and flat to the skin. And with that being said, you want to use discs. You don't want to use beads on this one. You want the gem or that disc to be flat against there. If you're using the ball, it allows the jewelry to flop back and forth, and that will cause it to reject, more irritation, and way more problems. Now, one of the biggest problems I've ever seen with any wrist piercing is going to be laundry baskets. I wish I could say there was something else, but whenever you're grabbing that laundry out of there and you're pulling, it can get caught and yanked on and causes so much problems. So be aware of things like that. If you're reaching down in something, if it gets caught, you can catch that piercing. So be aware and very careful of not hitting it. Other than that, it's generally not too problematic as long as you're not touching and playing with your piercings. Now, if you're wearing bracelets and watches, long sleeves, or things that are getting caught in there, this is a bad idea. So aware of lifestyle is a huge, huge thing. If you're going swimming, if you're in a dirty environment, don't get this piercing. Now the piercing seems like it's going through some tough tissue, and it seems like it's a long one. Let's check it out. Surprisingly easy. When I've done these piercings, I generally pierce 3/4 of an inch, sometimes even up to an inch. And people say it hardly hurts at all. The only part that's painful is catching on things. So be nice to your piercing. Now, I've been doing these piercings a long time, and I've had a lot of them heal up really, really well. The only issues, like I said, is when people get them caught, yank on, and that's kind of the beginnings of the end. If you're not getting it caught and you're keeping up with your aftercare, these heal up super nice and can really have a cool look or effect. Just imagine standing there having all that extra gems hanging off the sides. You don't see these every day, and it really does catch a lot of attention. So it's a fun piercing, not too painful. I fully approve. So what do you think of the wrist piercing? Let me know down below. Now, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really makes a big difference for me. And of course, hit the like, share it with your friend, and of course, keep putting holes in your body. We'll see you all in the next video.